Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
Welcome to Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking theater.
Ah, my lords and ladies, geeks, geekerellas, geekulas, and geekeritas. I am Lord Blood-Rah, and this is Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin' Theater. And tonight's film is all about the dangerous consequences that occur when science meddles in things best left alone. No, not really. It's just a monster flick. But it's a fun one. From 1959, it's the campy, carnivorous caper, The Killer Shrews. Now, tonight's movie stars James Best, whom you fans of 1980s television will recognize as the silly sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane from The Dukes of Hazzard. Here he's much younger and much less silly, which is more than I can say about the costumed coonhounds and puppets that play our monsters tonight. Well, my lords and ladies, without further ado, I give to you, from the same people who gave us the giant Gia monster, some silly monsters out doing their best to feast on human flesh. Here is The Killer Shrews.
First in Alaska, and then invading steadily southward, there were reports of a new species, the giant killer shrew.
Sure is a lot of quiet out there. Almost smell it, can't you?
No, but I can feel it. That pressure's dropped so fast, it's almost made my ears pop.
Hurricane's got different ways of telling you it's there. Where is it?
Dead ahead.
What's that mean to us?
My boy, that puts our port right in the middle of it. There's a cove on the lee side, though. We'll snuggle up close to the bluff and ride it out.
What about the bottom?
Well, the chart shows it's good holding ground. It's clay. You know something? If this thing had an automatic pilot, I wouldn't have to put up with you.
Then you wouldn't have nobody to chew out.
We should be there in a couple of hours. These mills of yours keep running.
Look, automatic pilots can't play Dixieland jazz on them engines like I can.
Hey, Rook. Rook, come here. Take a look. There she is, dead ahead.
Man, that sure do look good.
A man named Craigus owns this island, doesn't he?
That's the name on the crate, Dr. Milo Craigus.
We'll unload tomorrow. I don't want this craft sitting high in that water when that blow hits.
You gonna ride stern, too, with a lot of water under?
That's right. That sea won't make up in that cove. That wind will have her whipping around like a kite. Slip forward and break out the heavy weather hook. Shacklet, make sure it's free to run.
I'm out, Sir Shacklet.
Good.
Oh, she'll ride like a duck. If she swings too far to starboard, we might have to take a check line to shore. Hey, Rook, take a slant up that trail. Now, that's a rather strange setup, wouldn't you say?
Looks like somebody's getting rid of somebody, huh, Captain?
Maybe. Hard to tell.
I'm Dr. Craigus.
Thorne Sherman. I have your supplies aboard.
That's good. Nothing wrong with Captain Ferguson, I hope.
Well, I wouldn't know. I just bought his run.
Oh, I see. Were you able to fill our order?
Everything on the list. Here's the manifest.
Missing last week's supply has run us a little short, you know. Captain, after you have unloaded, I have a passenger for you. Anne. Captain Sherman, this is my daughter, Anne Craigus.
Hello. So you're the passenger?
That's right, Captain.
Oh, it's going to be nice having you aboard. I'm getting a little tired looking at Griswold. But we're not leaving today.
In fact, we're not even unloading. That load will cut the roll in half. You expecting an invasion?
Yes, animals.
Game or otherwise?
Under certain conditions, it could be dangerous.
Hey, Rook, you want to shake the kinks out? Limber up a little?
Not me, Captain Blight. You go right ahead and stretch your legs. That ship's gonna be bucking like a bucking bronc for long. Besides, I got some work left to do.
If you do come ashore, wear a gun.
Got you, Captain.
When I told you about the hurricane, you act like you didn't know anything about it. What's the matter? Your set broken down?
You've been out of communication for more than a week, Captain.
Can't it be fixed?
It's totally out of commission.
My assistant, Mr. Farrell, Jerry Farrell.
Father, perhaps the captain would enjoy a drink.
Well, of course. Will you join us in a cocktail?
Well, I've never been known to turn down a drink yet. I'll be glad to accept.
Fine. In that case, we'll have martinis. Mario,
Si, senor.
mix them, please. Right this way, Captain. Come in.
If you're watching this, you must love horror, science fiction, B-movies, and weird tales. You can help spread that love by signing up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. There you can help support the production of Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Theater, presenting the best, worst, and wildest horror and science fiction films ever made. Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring chilling old-time radio horror shows best listened to in the dark. And Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour, the kind of show kids in the 60s and 70s would run home from school to see, featuring classic science fiction heroes like Flash Gordon, Tom Corbett Space Cadet, Captain Zero, and many more. Plus, if you sign up, you'll have exclusive access to content available nowhere else, like Lord Blood-Rah's B-movie reviews, radio episode commentaries, and more. Sign up today at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah for the love of horror.
Why do you suppose there were no reports about this thing until 1946? What could have happened then to start the stories?
1946? Well, the bikini underwater experiments were set off then. Maybe that started something.
Deep down in the strange, lurid, murky depths of the Pacific are fantastic, horribly grotesque creatures of the sea that challenge man's courage as no earthly creatures can. Science knows some of the answers, but not all. And among science's unknowns is the strange identity of the living monster from the ocean floor.
How he get out of suit? No man gets through that.
And what happened to him? Here is the first undersea battle ever photographed between a giant killer shark and a woman, as she searches for a monster even more deadly.
Could absorb a man. Or a woman.
Bonnie, cast off on the double.
Well, it's cocktail time on the island. Time to relax, reflect on the events of the day, await the coming hurricane and the ravenous attack of the Killer Shrews. These are the good times. Cheers. Bye!
You have everything here you need?
Oh, we are self-sufficient here. We have cows for fresh milk and chickens for fresh eggs.
We even have saddle horses.
Sort of a world all your own.
That's exactly what I've tried to create.
Well, to each his own.
If you have to be isolated for your work, you picked a lonely little island.
Excuse me, please. I think I'll change.
Well, she's a little worried because you aren't leaving until tomorrow.
Well, I can understand that. But there's something else bothering her.
Bradford. Bradford. Radford, would you please step over here? I'd like you to meet someone.
Just a second, Doctor.
That could go on for hours. Dr. Baines.
There's no need to shout, Doctor. I'm right here.
I'd like you to meet Captain Thorne Sherman. This is my other assistant, Radford Baines.
How do you do? 2 new litters since lunch, Doctor. Both support GT116.
That's good, but,
We can breed them to the 205 group in about 3 weeks. But I'd prefer to wait and expose about half of them to the Hoskins factor first. If you agree.
Good idea. Do you know there's a hurricane coming?
Hurricane? Well, I don't suppose there's much we can do about that. Glad to meet you. Sherman, wasn't
it? You have to excuse Radford. Anything that does not concern his project does not get through to him. Brilliant mind. He would starve at it if someone didn't remind him to eat.
Must be very interesting work. What's his field?
Biology. We specialize in genetics, heredity.
I'm afraid my interest doesn't run in that line, you know.
Think what would happen if you could isolate and identify the inherited factor in each gene.
Now, wait a minute. I'm afraid I'm not very good with pure research.
This is practical research. Generally, among mammals, the smaller the size, the higher the metabolism and the shorter the lifespan.
Is that right?
Well, I'm attempting to decrease the size by maintaining a low metabolism and resultant a longer lifespan.
For what reason?
Overpopulation. Not a problem now, but it will be in time. If we were half as big as we are now, we could live twice as long on our natural resources.
Father, may I speak with you a moment? Will you please excuse us, Captain?
Well, providing you drop the captain, I prefer Thorne.
No. Well.
Tell me something, Doctor. Has a hurricane ever hit this island before that you know of?
I wouldn't know. You've only been here 9 months, and this place has been unoccupied for years.
Well, have you ever been through one?
Only the fringes.
Well, this one's building up very fast. Pressure drops very quickly in the center. I'd advise you to get some doors and windows open in this place.
Ventilators on the roof. And if you'll freshen Anne's drink, I'll go and check them.
I'd be happy to.
Thank heavens you're right today.
Why, are rations getting short?
No, it's more than that. Much more. We'll surely be able to sail tomorrow, won't we?
Possibly. But not probable. Not delayed, anyway. It takes a long time for a sea like that to quiet down.
Well, if you're worrying about me, you needn't. I'm a good sailor.
Well, I'm not worried about you. We'll sail when the time's right.
I got them opened, all right. Well, Captain, let me freshen you a drink. One for the road. Not trying to rush you, but it will be dark soon.
I've invited Thorne for dinner, Father.
Oh, I see. If you're not worried about your ship, you're welcome.
I'll take a rain check on that dinner.
If you wish.
Father, I've asked Thorne to stay.
Progress, Doctor. This is the sole survivor of Group 30. 28 months old today.
Well, that's equivalent to 140 years to us.
That's right, yet it still maintains low metabolism without any sluggishness.
It's not the breakthrough, but it certainly sets our course. Radford, suspend series 52 through 96, and we'll concentrate on the rest.
What is that?
It's a Sorex cericidae.
Looks like a small rat. Smells like a skunk.
They have musk glands in their knees. These little fellows are our subjects. They have a birth cycle of 10 to 14 days. And using them, we can establish traits. We can trace the progressions through a number of generations over a short period of time.
Well, how big do they get?
That's an adult. See, their muzzle is longer and thicker than the rat's. It extends over the lower mandible, see?
Does he bite?
Only when he's hungry.
Well, maybe you better take him. He doesn't know me.
All he knows is his next meal. He's just been fed. He'll be all right for another 8 hours.
The shutter blew open. Bradford? I got it, senor.
Don't let that scare you. It's going to get worse.
Storms always frighten her, ever since she was a child. They're not climbers. They are digging animals, a lot like the mole. They feed only at night unless they're starving. And when they are hungry enough, they'll tackle anything regardless of size.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. If you leave 2 of them in a cage for 12 hours without food, the stronger will eat the weaker.
Like cannibals.
Precisely. You see, their intense activity requires a tremendous amount of energy. To supply it, they must eat 3 times their own weight in food every 24 hours or starve. Radford, would you please take this? Take it away. Yeah. Some call them bone eaters. When the flesh is gone, they'll eat the bones for marrow. All they'll leave are teeth, horns,
I could
hooves.
use another martini. Do you mind?
Of course, my dear. I'll get you one. There you are. Mario! Aquí, por favor. Mario will show to the bath and he'll freshen up a bit. Here be el señor al baño.
Sí, señor. Sígame, por favor.
Excuse me.
Aquí, señor.
You got a problem, too? ¿Qué pasó?
Nada. Nothing, señor. But you will leave on the ship tomorrow.
Well, I think that all depends on the wind and the sea, don't you?
Sí. Sí, señor. I don't know. Ah, you may joking. I feel the point. I think.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, if anybody else is concerned about my sailing tomorrow, why, you see, they feel the point, too, huh? I don't like to repeat myself.
Okay, senor.
I don't think that tree is stable enough to be tying that boat to. In fact, I don't think that's the only thing on the island that's not stable.
If we were half as big as we are now, we could live twice as long on our natural resources.
The doctor is talking about growing smaller people that can live longer on less. And yet, I'm betting he ended up with giant killer shrews. That's enough to get your medical license revoked. But it will earn you a degree in mad science. Congratulations, Doc. You're officially nuts.
Larry!
From the exotic geisha houses of Tokyo to the back alleys of the Ginza Strip comes the terrifying news of a fiendish creature that threatens to destroy all who stand in his way. This is the frightening story of an American reporter in Tokyo who unwittingly became the victim of a shocking scientific experiment that turned him into a horrible mutant, half man, half monster, the Manster.
What happened?
He got away.
I think I know where he's going, to Taurus. Follow me.
Right.
There's panic in the streets as the unheard-of terror of a half-man, half-monster runs wild through the city.
There he goes!
Don't miss The Manster, a genuine thriller in the most frightening sense of the word.
As we return to the Killer Shrews, the storm brews, the tension grows, and the shrews attack.
I know, but I'm not saying that you created them, Jerry. I am saying that because of your drunken stupidity in leaving the cage door open, you created the horrible situation that now exists.
Look, Ann, this is a mistake any one of us might have made. And I'm getting a little sick of being called an irresponsible drunk. Now, believe me, I am. Excuse me.
Care for a cigarette?
Thanks. And thank heavens you arrived today.
You said that before. What's the strain?
That don't make sense. Please excuse me. But it seems like everything is coming to a head at once.
Oh?
I want to leave, but I want my father to go with me.
Well, then, why doesn't he?
We've discussed it many times, but he's adamant. I'm sure Jerry has a lot to do with this decision. He tried to convince me that the crisis will only last for a few...
Wow. This is certainly a cozy little scene. Might even be called intimate. Boy meets girl and all...
Stop it, Jerry. That remark is uncalled for. What I do or have to say does not concern you.
I can't disagree with you more, my dear. I'm concerned with everything you do, and I intend to keep it that way. Now, in my book, an engagement isn't a casual thing.
In my book, it isn't either. And last night ended ours.
Be reasonable. Everybody in the world is scared to death of something.
That's evident. When they came at us last night, you knocked me down getting inside the fence.
It's just that I can't stand them.
And I've discovered something I can't stand.
All right. But I advise you not to mention it to anyone. I'm going to complete these experiments with your father regardless of anything. Do you understand that? Nobody is going to take this chance away from me.
That's Captain Sherman.
Checking the weather. I'll get him. Captain, time for dinner.
good as a mile, Elvis, eh?
You know, if one of those trees crashes through, it might just
Look,
knock the
honey,
whole...
any tree on this side of the house will fall away from it, so just relax. But I think I'd better go back aboard. I don't think I'm not grateful for your hospitality. I am. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thorne, your ship is safe. Please, stay here with me.
Why? You scared or lonesome?
Both.
I'll take a rain check on it.
Thorne, you can't leave. No one opens that gate after dark.
Well, who's going to stop me? You?
Well, this. No one opens that gate at night.
Now, look, I don't ask questions because it's against my principles. But wouldn't you like to explain that?
All right. Sit down and I will.
Give me the gun. Not very becoming anyway.
Do you believe in fairy tales?
Well, I'm a little old for that sort of thing, but what'd you have in mind?
Well, I'll tell you about one. A true fairy tale. And you're right in the middle of it.
Oh?
Have you ever heard of a shrew?
As in taming
No,
of
the animal. Bradford called them Sorixoricity when you showed you one.
Oh, then shrew must be the common name for those cute little animals.
Cute. That's the last word you can use to describe those little monsters. They're the most horrible animals on the face of the earth. As Father told you, they breed within 3 weeks after birth. Their lifespan is around 1 year.
I know what your father told me, but what's that got to do with me opening that gate?
There are 200 or 300 giant shrews out there. Monsters weighing between 50 and 100 pounds.
50 to 100. Wait a minute, you must be kidding.
I'm definitely not kidding.
That's as big as a full-grown wolf.
And what's more, they are beginning to starve.
No wonder you didn't want me to go out there. Thanks for saving my skin.
Well, I'm sorry I had to threaten you with a gun. But I didn't know how else to stop you.
Oh, it was very effective. But all you had to do was tell me about them.
Well, I hoped I wouldn't have to. But you changed everything when you started to leave. And I had to stop you some way.
You say there's 200 or 300 out there?
Man. That's right, Captain Thorne. And if you'd stuck with your rowboat and played captain instead of trying to play detective, you wouldn't have to worry about how many are out there, would you?
That's enough, Jerry. What's wrong, Anne?
Well, Thorne decided to leave. To dissuade him, I started to tell him about the shoes.
He might as well know the whole story as half of it. I guess we're all a little jumpy, Captain.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
6 months ago, we managed to isolate the factor controlling size. 2 litters were born. 6 individuals we kept for study. They were about the size of buckshot at birth. But the rate of growth was abnormal. They continued to grow. They were mutants. But they inherited all the negative characteristics of their breed. Somehow they managed to escape. But a month later, we saw one of their offspring. They were multiplying. We did everything in the world to exterminate them, but no apparent luck. Then we haven't seen any. Since daylight neither blinds them and they forage only at night, when they're starving. But the fact that 2 of them charged Anne and Jerry at the gate last evening indicates that the available food on the island is nearing depletion.
Then what, Doctor?
They will exterminate each other. It'll take a couple days.
Well, what do we do during that time?
Stay indoors and wait until it's over.
I'll get some wires glued down on the transformer.
I'm sorry. I'll get some lamps.
Mario! Mario!
Si, senor.
There's a lantern in the pantry. Light it and bring it in here. Bradford, light all the candles you can find.
All right, I will.
Where's the generator?
Outside. Can't get at it at night.
Here, let me help you.
The lantern will give you all the light you need. I will join you shortly, Jerry.
What did she say?
Oh, then shrew must be the common name for those cute little animals.
Cute. That's the last word you can use to describe those little monsters. They're the most horrible animals on the face of the earth.
Really? Shrews are the most horrible animals on the face of the earth? Really? The Brazilian wandering spider is the most poisonous spider in the world. Its bite can shut down your lungs and paralyze you. The black mamba carries enough venom in one bite to kill up to 25 full-grown men. And then there's this guy. Oh, I don't even want to discuss it. Shrews are the most horrible things on the face of the earth? What about commercials?
Dance, baby, dance, come and dance with me. Hear the beat of the pounding sea. Ride, baby, ride, come and ride with me. Let your feet go easy.
What do you make of this? Where does the other end go? It dumps into the ocean.
It looks exactly like the South American Fantigua fish. I hope you can take one alive, Sheriff.
I still believe that a human clawed that girl to death. The Beach Girls and the Monster, starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub. Music by Frank Sinatra Jr.
You got a monster in the surf. Yeah, yeah.
Chicks, do you have a problem? You won't have after you meet the monster on the beach. If you see this ghoul, play it cool. Beauties in bikinis, laughing, singing, surfing, sinning. Beach party lovers making hey hey in the moonlight while the monster waits and watches. Yeah. This one will kill you.
Well, Jerry, I felt she was sincere and made sense from her standpoint.
Wanting her father to leave the island with her makes sense? Would be much better for the project if I went with her for a few days. As a matter of fact, I think I'll talk to the doctor about that. That might be the answer. And another thing, I don't take much to this Thorne Sherman. He looks to me like the type that'd try anything.
That left-handed dinner invitation, that was just to keep me here till after dark, wasn't it?
I wanted you here tonight. I felt something terrible was going to happen.
Well, you still feel the same way about it?
Not as much. Not since you're here. I know everything. I love an open fire, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
The wind has a lonesome sound, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Like in Sweden, we don't have a wind this strong. You're a strange man, Thorne. I never met anyone like you.
Oh?
You seem so disinterested in everything. Aren't you the least bit curious? Don't you wonder about the unusual things around here? The guns, the fence, the shuttered windows, my accent.
Now that you mention it, I was wondering about your accent.
I'll tell you something. I'm only interested in anything that concerns me, then I do something about it.
Oh, then you can't do anything about her accent?
You're going to sail with me tomorrow, whether your father intends to or not.
Thor, no! Father, Brad! Out there!
I don't think he was going out, Jerry.
I couldn't take a chance. He's fool enough to.
Don't be stupid. I had no intentions of going out there, opening that gate. Now somebody needed it. Did you hear it, Doctor? It sounded like a human voice. I was thinking of Rook.
It was the livestock. The shrews got into the barn.
What was it, Father?
It was the livestock.
Did Mario forget to bar those doors?
No. I put them in the barn myself. They couldn't get through the wood doors. They dug through the dirt floor.
Let me ask you something, Doctor. How could you expose all our lives, yourself included, with those things out there? All you had to do was get the Coast Guard or the Navy to come in here and burn them out. Those things got loose.
Any unusual experiment can produce unusual results. That's why I chose this island. It's isolated. Miles of open water in any direction. Our project is privately financed. It's not a problem for the government or military. And the world is in no danger. His species does not swim. And as far as the shrews are concerned, this island is their world.
Very soon, right here on this island, there's going to be a miniature reproduction of an overpopulated world. And you'll see the importance of what we're working to avoid.
I'm not concerned about all this theory. What I'm concerned about is our lives.
There'll be ample time to panic when they run out of food and go on a 24-hour forage.
How do you know they haven't already?
That's possible. Their main diet has been the small animals on the island. That source could have been depleted 18 or 20 hours ago. And that's why they went after the livestock.
There's still some food on this island before they reach the crisis.
Where? No worry about them digging in here. The floors are tile.
But the walls aren't, Doctor. They're adobe. Our safest bet would be on that boat.
You may be right. You can reach your boat in daylight. The shrews will gorge themselves on livestock. That should keep them lethargic for several hours.
There's no sense looking at the dark side.
And there's no sense minimizing a serious situation. It leaves you completely unprepared to cope with it. Now, we certainly can't make it tonight. That's out of the question. Maybe tomorrow. I haven't. We'll get some sleep tonight, but we'll have a watch, an hour and a half apiece. Doctor, you go first, and then Radford, Mario, Jerry, and then me. Shutter all the windows, make sure they're locked good and tight, check all these walls.
Come on.
No, I think I'll stay here by the fire. I feel safer. I couldn't stand it in that room alone.
All right, as you wish. But try to get some sleep.
I will.
Senor Farrell, here is Mario. You are next to make the patrol, no?
Sure, Mario. Come on in. I've been waiting for you to finish. I must have dozed off. You kind of startled me. Sit down. Here. Have a drink. It will help you to relax.
Gracias, señor.
Sit down. Mr. Wild. You just checked every room in the house, didn't you?
Si.
Fine. You're a good man, Mario. A man that can be trusted. You know what I've been thinking about, Mario? Anne and that captain. You and me.
Hey, watch it! This is a family show.
Imagine an intelligent girl like her going for a common sea tramp like him. I know why. You do too. In case anything goes wrong, she's looking out for her own hide. That's why I keep thinking about you and me. Anything goes wrong, we're gonna outlast them all. I'm going to trust you to take my turn at patrolling the house. But when you finish, don't wake the captain. Come back here and get me. See, I'll probably feel good enough by then to take his turn. Okay, Mario?
Si.
Okay.
Señor, it is Mario.
Oh, Mario, come on in. What is it?
There is a big raton in la bodega.
A shrew in the cellar?
Si, I hear him singing down there.
Well, how did he get in?
The store broke out the kitchen window, but I closed it off. He went down there.
Why should he go down there?
The food for the little ratones. I put it out to frost. They love it.
What, did you tell Jerry?
No, senor. Here is your turn next. Here is una luz. We kill him, no?
Yeah.
It's Lord Blood-Rah's Tremulous Trailers.
This engine's still warm.
Say, did you see the skid marks out here? They go at a direct right angle to the direction of travel.
No digs in the macadam either. Somebody was hurt. There's blood all over this thing.
What is this black menace that kills everything it sees and hears? No human mind could imagine the enormous destructive power of this maddened, killing thing. If you're young people in love, out. If you're driving a lonely road, you're as good as dead.
There's been a lot of livestock missing lately. That doesn't make headlines, but now it's people.
Never in the history of the United States, a monster of such size and power and horrifying hatred of man.
Men, 1 billion strong, set to destroy the earth. The human race lulled into a false sense of security except for one scientist who dared probe the secret of this terrifying plan.
They're here. They're going to destroy us.
It's all right, Dr. Martin. You're with friends. You'll be all right.
They'll kill everyone. We've got to stop them!
Easy, Doug, easy.
Who are you?
A scientist, like yourself.
Where do you come from?
From a planet, yet unknown to you.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay where you are.
Dr. Martin. What are you doing with this?
Back or I'll kill him. Go on, get back.
Do as he says.
You'll see an amazing succession of staggering scenes. Strange monsters, giant reptiles, and astounding marvels of science yet unborn.
As we return to the Killer Shrews, Captain Thorne and Mario go off to hunt a shrew in the basement. But first, they must warn the fox on the couch. Fox. That's what we old guys used to call hot girls when we were young.
A shrew got in. It's all right. He's down in the cellar. Now we're going down after him. But I don't want you to let anybody open that door till I tell you to. You understand? Good girl. Just a crack. Open. Hold on to it. Okay. Side. Mario?
Aquí. You see anything? I see where he was. I do not see where he is.
Cuidado.
Sí, señor. I will be careful. I feel myself going back to the animal instinct. I lock myself in there with him, fearing that I might do something terrible.
Billy! Billy!
You all right down there? Doctor, get down here, quick! Mario.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I got this on him right away. He couldn't have bled to death.
Might as well let go of it. Won't do him any good now.
What could have killed him?
I'm not certain. Till the autopsy.
Hemotoxic syndrome.
I'm afraid so. We'll know after pathology.
Doctor, that's not the same animal you showed me. That's a monster.
As I said, they are mutants. In controlling the size factor, we seem to have crossed some of the other characteristics.
Well, you certainly did a good job of it.
I've known that for some time, Captain. Would you please give me a hand with Mario? Bradford, bring up the animal.
An extremely high poison content in the shrew's saliva.
Now compare it with this. Careful count isn't necessary. Any indication of the same poison in Mario's blood will give you the answer.
Yes, you're right.
Look, Ann. Brooding about it's not going to do any good. Now, why don't you try to think of something else? Tell me, what do you do around here? Are you a scientist?
I'm a zoologist.
Oh. That's the study of animal life, isn't it? Well, do you specialize? What do you specialize in?
They died. Well, I had a hand in this, too. And I'm partly to blame. But this ends it. If we ever get off this island, I'll never have anything to do with it again.
What will you do?
Live normally, like normal women do. May seem a little dull after the life I've been living, I'd rather dull and alive than excited and...
I'll take a dull, alive woman every time.
Say, Thorne, the autopsy has proved what we suspected. Several weeks ago, I concocted the most virulent poison I could with the materials I had at hand. And we put it out as bait. Mario was killed by poison.
Doctor, I wonder if you thought the system of the Sorex enabled them to assimilate that poison. It remained in the salivary glands of their jaws. Isn't that wonderful? Well, I am sorry. Of course, I always speak from the clinical point of view.
Well, don't you have something to counteract that poison?
Once Maria was bitten, I'm afraid there's nothing anyone could have done. This indicates that we cannot afford to get even so much as a scratch from these animals. They're more poisonous than snakes.
What, do you think they're all affected?
Best way to find out is let them all bite you and see which bite you die after.
We might just all get that chance, Jerry. You included. Doctor, I've closed all the doors in the house. I suggest we do the same thing with this hall and this lab. It'll cut down the chances of getting in the front of the house. I think if we keep a close watch on those walls and windows in there, we might make it till daybreak.
The walls are 2 feet thick. Do you think they have a chance to dig in?
Of course there's a chance. Anywhere that plaster's off, that adobe's as soft as mush where that rain hit it.
So, they're big, carnivorous, and poisonous. Why'd you stop there, Doc? What's the matter? You couldn't make lasers shoot out of their eyes or make them breathe fire? You couldn't make their poop explosive? Kind of sounds like a list of side effects from a drug commercial, doesn't it? Oh, speaking of which... If you're watching this, you must love horror, science fiction, B-movies, and weird tales. You can help spread that love by signing up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. There you can help support the production of Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Theater, presenting the best, worst, and wildest horror and science fiction films ever made. Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring chilling old-time radio horror shows best listened to in the dark. And Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour, the kind of show kids in the 60s and 70s would run home from school to see, featuring classic science fiction heroes like Flash Gordon, Tom Corbett Space Cadet, Captain Zero, and many more. Plus, if you sign up, you'll have exclusive access to content available nowhere else, like Lord Blood-Rah's B-movie reviews, radio episode commentaries, and more. Sign up today at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah for the love of horror.
From ancient Genesis to the modern screen, is the name written in blood. Ega!
If I could just call you on the phone. The code of the ghost has the sign of the toad. Nobody lives on the Brownsville Road.
Thrill to the newest recording star, Arturo Jr.
Oh, they scream in this way.
See ravishing Marilyn Manning in a thrilling, chilling story. The last of the prehistoric giants sees his first girl. Noah. And
Curious newsmen search deep in giant country for the last of the ancient cavemen. See a tough giant tamed by the soft hands of his captive woman. See him sacrifice his ageless beard for her love. Then lose her to a boy in a dune buggy, escaping a burning desert. Egar's primitive passion was love or kill. Hear Egar talk, the ancient language of love, used at the beginning of time. See Egar!
And now back to the Killer Shrews, as plans are made to escape the hungry beasts at their door.
It's not a bad idea, Doctor. But here's another possibility, Doctor. It's very light out. It's going to be daylight soon. We'll take the shrew that killed Mario and throw it over the fence and use it for bait. If they show up for it, of course, they'll run for the boats out. But if they don't, then I'll go down and have Rook lay to with a lighter. Then I'll return to the bend and the trail and give you the all-clear signal.
Sounds fine, Captain.
Good. Then you explain it to the rest.
Yes, I will.
Well, the bait's been out for 20 minutes. Nothing's touched it.
Even the wind has gone down. Isn't that wonderful?
I'm afraid it's not over, my dear. It's just a lull. There'll be a lot more.
He's right. I'll be back at the bend shortly. Now, you watch for my signal. Huh?
You can't go alone.
I'll go with him.
Not you, Father. You haven't even fired a gun. Take Red or Jerry.
Sure, I'll go. And you'll be sure of getting the signal.
Don't shoot that gun unless you have to. We've only got 20 rounds altogether.
I know that as well as you do. Sherman, you stay away from her.
You have that gun pointed at me?
Right at the middle of your back.
Look, we got enough problems without worrying about Ann.
I'm telling you, stay away from her, or when the shrews get through with you, they won't even find the buckshot.
Where's the skiff?
I'll follow that check line. I gotta find him.
Since last night, you won't find much of him.
Would you shut up?
I'm not going back.
You're what?
I'm staying here.
All right. You suit yourself, but if I were you, I'd swim out to that boat.
Can't swim.
Then stay here.
Wait a minute. You gotta give me a gun.
Give you a gun?
Sherman, wait!
The gun we had on the boat. They don't leave much, do they?
Sherman, we gotta make a deal for it.
What is it? Shh. They've been trailing us on both sides.
Where? I didn't see anything. Look, Sherman, you gotta give me a gun.
All right. Whatever you do, don't you run. And you stay in front of me, because I don't trust you.
They're coming! Open the gate! Open it! Open the gate! Open the gate! Let him in! Let him in! Joey, open the door! The Shrews were out there. I couldn't take a chance. For heaven's sakes, Doctor, stop them!
All right. Didn't he have it coming, or didn't he?
What happened out there?
Oh, nothing much. Jerry just tried to kill me twice in the last 5 minutes. Rook came ashore last night. He's dead. This is all was left. Won't do us any good. It's got no ammo.
I'm deeply sorry, Captain. I wish you had followed your orders.
Look, Doctor, you casually mentioned animals. You didn't explain to us what we were facing out there.
You have every right to feel the way you do. My mistake was only mine. It was one of judgment. I didn't know about the hurricane. I didn't anticipate the effect it would have on the Shrews. I thought the house would be safe through the crisis.
How could you expose your own daughter? How could you expose Anne to that?
She was going to leave last week, but the boat didn't come.
I need a drink. Anybody else care for one?
I could use some coffee.
I'll make some.
Thank you, madam.
Creamy sugar.
My leg! Slam the door!
You all right, Doctor?
He just ripped my trousers, that's all.
Are you sure that's all?
I'm completely aware of it, Doctor.
That was a stupid waste of ammunition. Every one of them a clean mess. There's still 4 of them in there.
How did they get in?
Through that kitchen window. That rope must be rotten.
It got him! Bradford! He's dead.
Oh, no.
Every symptom and reaction, right up to the moment of his death.
Jerry, tear down one of those drapes and cover him up.
Sure. Craigus will cover Ann, and I'll cover him. You'll cover me, but who'll cover you? Shut up! We can get on that man old sway from the shed. Shut up!
Now you stop sniveling and think!
It'll take a tank to get us out of here.
It won't take them long to dig around this.
You're right. No telling where else they're digging, too. Come on, patio.
Assume the position and open your minds wide. It's time for your cranial cavity search. Yes, my lords and ladies, the cranial cavity search. Here's a chance for you great geeks out there to prove your geek cred by showing what you know. And tonight's cranial cavity search question is: in the 1955 Ed Wood Bela Lugosi flick, The Bride of the Monster, Bela Lugosi plays Dr. Eric Voronov, an exiled mad scientist. And of course, they're the most dangerous kind, who is bent on creating a race of atomic supermen to conquer the world. To help dispose of those who would oppose him, Dr. Voronov keeps a monster around. What is Dr. Eric Voronov's monster? A radioactive gorilla. B, a giant octopus. C, a giant bat. Or D, a mutated snake. Do you know, my lords and ladies? Ponder that question and then ponder the deep mysteries of these commercials.
Hey, geeks! Want more Lord Blood-Rah? To help support the show and get exclusive content found nowhere else, sign up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah.
And the answer to tonight's cranial cavity search question. What was Dr. Eric Voronov's monster in The Bride of the Monster? It was B, a giant octopus. Yes, my lords and ladies, a giant freshwater octopus that lives in a stream. Thanks, Eddie. Legend has it that the giant rubber octopus prop was stolen from Republic Studios, but when they stole the prop, they neglected to steal the motor that made the tentacles move, forcing all of the octopus's victims to just lay down on the flaccid rubber octopus, grab the tentacles, and flail around screaming. But now, my lords and ladies, on to the conclusion of the Killer Shrews, as our beleaguered crew try to survive the beast's attack.
There's not enough stuff here to barricade those walls. I'll tell you, we'll pile some of those crates up over there. The roof's our last chance. Here, help me, Doctor. See if you can find something light. All right. Here, help me with that, Doctor. George, see if you can find some more. Doctor. Yes? Use these chemical drums as tanks. Individual tanks. Here, I'll show you. All right. Stand down here. Yep. Let it down now. All right. Slow. All right. Coming all right? Yeah. All right. It'll work. It'll work.
But these drums are too tall for the base. If the shoes don't push us over, the wind will.
Not if we lash them together. All right. Hey, are there any more around here?
Only that one over there.
You have any cold chisels or hammers or anything I can knock a hole in here to make some eye pieces?
Yeah, some tools over there in the corner.
All right. Hey, here's another one. Hey, get that out there. We'll work on it. Hey, that's even better. Give me a little more slack. Get some rope and put it on that latch so we can reach from the ground. walk to the beach. Where's Jerry?
There's a lot of them out there. I can see them. I'm not going.
Look, come down here. That wind will blow you right off that roof.
I told you I'm not going. I'm staying here.
You got to get them down here somehow. And see if you can coax them down here.
Jerry, please come down with us.
No, Ann, they'll get you if you go out.
Come down here, you fool! Poor devil, I hope he makes it.
If you can't leave him, he's not responsible for himself.
Got to go now. All right, Doctor.
All right.
Now hold it up. Everybody ready? I'm going to open that gate. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, here they come. Hold on! Hold on! What's the matter? Your side's dragging. You want to rest? You tired?
Mira, Goffin, habló hacia acá necesita.
What'd you say?
She says she's all right. She's keeping her eyes closed.
All right. Keep your eyes closed. They can't get at you through the slit.
This empty drum is too heavy for her. I can barely hold up my side.
I'll be all right in a minute.
All right. You walk. I'll drag for a while. Listen, don't let their head get under. They'll flip us over. We'll hit the water soon. It doesn't sound like they're following us anymore.
better work deeper.
I'm about drowned out.
Okay, let's swim for it.
Okay. We are next on road, Patricia. We are safe, aren't we? I mean, the storm.
Oh, sure. She rode out the first half all right, and that's always the roughest. Anyway, riding at anchor, I'll get a chance to learn a little more about that Swedish accent.
In 24 hours, there'll be one shrew left on the island, and he'll be dead of starvation. An excellent example of overpopulation.
Well, you know something, Doctor?
What's that?
I'm not going to worry about overpopulation just yet.
And so they made it. Good, good for them. Look, all right, I'm glad they made it and all, but I was kind of hoping that maybe just one of the shrews had learned to swim. I mean, they're highly adaptive creatures, right? I mean, they assimilated the poison that the doctor had put out to kill them, and it made their bite poisonous. Couldn't one of them had learned to swim? Or maybe they did. Maybe a few of them did learn to swim, and they made it out into civilization. Maybe they're eating their way through civilization right now. Those people who are leaving the island, they think they're safe, but they're not. They're going off to discover the planet of the shrews. Perhaps the shrews have gained intelligence. Maybe they founded their own society. And humans have become so cowed by them that they've lost the power of speech and reason. Maybe the shrews are raising humans like cattle now. Maybe they've developed their own laws. Shrew shall never eat shrew. And these people who are just now getting off the island, they'll be seen as a threat by the shrew overlords, and they'll be hunted with shrews on horseback with rifles. That sounds awfully familiar, doesn't it? Oh well, I'll work out the details later. Anyway, a sequel was made to this movie in 2012 called The Return of the Killer Shrews, and it once again stars James Best as Captain Thorne Sherman. And no, I haven't seen it either. Well, my lords and ladies, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to invite you all back again next week when we'll do whatever this is all over again. As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, geek out.